Hey, Rock and Rose. I hope this video works. I'm here by myself, so I don't have someone to film, but just want to thank you for letting us work with Tesla. He is a fun dog. He's definitely a little bit nervous. He if I had, starting to work with Tesla, he definitely needed another week. We typically do 4 weeks with dogs that are nervous or anxious or have any kind of behavioral issues. That's totally fine though. He knows everything. I'm going to teach you how to manage him, how to handle him, and how to continue to progress his obedience and his confidence so that he will be the dog that we and you want him to be. So the first thing I want to talk about is, and I have Lady here helping me demonstrate. So Lady has actually done the same thing. She's done the first 3 weeks with most of it with Tesla actually, and so she'll be a great example. So Rudy's dog, Lady, she'll be a great example for what we're going to do today. So the first thing is management. So all of the behavioral issues that he has, however long he's been dealing with them, it's going to take that much time to fix them. So if a dog is having accidents in the home, peeing, pooping, chewing on things, running away, charging the door, any of these behaviors, let's say he's been doing that for the past year, it's going to take about a year of management to break those habits. And so the skills that we train allow you to have the control that you need to manage those problems that you're having. First thing, the crate. So I don't let dogs be loose in the house until I trust them completely. One of my personal dogs, actually she's over there. Oh, you can kind of see her. She is a national champion. She's a crazy dog. She'll be 9 years old in about 2 months. And I don't leave her alone in the house if I'm not there. If I'm there, she's fine all day long. If I'm not there, she just has so much drive, energy, and craziness that there's a chance she's gonna get into something. So I just don't give her that opportunity. I manage her. And the way that we manage a dog is 1, the crate, 2, the leash. And I'm gonna write up everything that I'm talking about today and send you. So today was actually 3 weeks, and I got back yesterday, so I was planning to do all this for you today and then send him home today. So it wasn't a big deal, but anyway, that's why this is coming after he got home rather than before. But so the crate, if you're gonna leave the house, I would put him in a crate. A crate is a safe place for your dog to be. And if you do it right, they will enjoy the crate. So I would only feed Tesla inside the crate, on a bed, or out of your hands. And we're gonna go over that. So inside the crate, I would get him his favorite toys. Sorry, my phone just dropped where I had it propped up. But so I would get some Kong toys, fill them with, you can do some raw hamburger, you can soak kibble in water. Anything like that they absolutely love, stuff it in the Kong toy, freeze it, and then anytime you're gonna leave, they go in the crate, they get that Kong toy. And they actually start to love it. They enjoy it. It's their safe place. They get some downtime. They get to be away from everybody. It's very good for dogs. Dogs that don't get the rest that they need, like dogs that are always going and going and going and like just kind of crazy, they get this kind of OCD, they get kind of nuts, and they get to the point that they're unable to relax. So we sometimes need to help them to relax. They're like a 2-year-old that doesn't get a nap, and they're whining, they're crying, they start doing all these behaviors that we don't want them to do: barking, marking, pooping, chewing, jumping up on people, all these things. Some of that comes from the fact that they're not getting the rest that they need. So us helping them by putting them in the crate is going to help them to relax and to chill out and to ignore people when they come. So we don't always want them having to say hi to everybody. We don't want them to see every dog. We want them to be neutral to everybody and to every person. That's where you get the control. See if I can show you So we want them to just be, when we put them on the bed, they're just very chill, they're very relaxed, and they can get the rest that they need. Second, if you don't trust them in the home, then when they're out, I would have them on leash, at least dragging around a leash. And if they run off, I would have like a 20-foot leash attached to them so that you can always step on it, tell them, no, come, and then they come to you. So you have that physical control. They're not going to be able to do anything that you don't want them to do. Now, the recall, one of the most important commands, we do a lot of things to kill a dog's recall. Usually, when we call the dog to us, it's because it's time for the fun to end. The dog is going to come inside, or they are going to go to bed, or the playtime is over. Whatever it is, whatever the dog's doing that's fun, usually when we call them, it's an end of that. That's over with, and now the dog has to go do something they may not necessarily want to do as much. So then the dog starts saying, well, forget you, I don't want to go to you because I know it's not going to be fun. So one of the best things we can do to help our dogs have a very good recall is every time we call them to us, we make it a party. Lots of praise, lots of affection, lots of treats. And one of the great things to do is take all of the food for the day for the dog, only give it to them when you call them. So you're going to call them, say, Tesla, come. As soon as he comes to you, say yes, give him treats, give him praise, give him affection, and give him his food. That's his food for the day. Do that multiple times a day, and then let him go play. Don't make him go do something. Like even if you're outside, Tesla, come. Yes, here's your praise, affection. Let me give you these treats. Okay, go play. And then he's going to start loving to come to you. Every time you call him, he's going to be super excited to come see you. And so the other side of that is if he has the 20-foot leash, if he doesn't come, you step on the leash. That gives you physical control, letting him know that you running away is not an option. And then you call him, and same thing, make it fun and exciting. Yes, good boy, here's your treat, and you give him a treat for coming to you. And like I say, divide his food up throughout the day. If you did that for a couple of weeks, so typically when a dog goes home, I tell everyone to work with the dog away from distractions, where there's no people, no other dogs, nothing else going on. Take a few minutes a day and work with the dog. And so that's a great thing to do with that recall. After a week to 2 weeks of that, he should be coming to you. He knows what it is. He absolutely knows what it means. If he's not coming, if he's not listening, he's not respecting you, or he's not as excited to come see you. So we're going to manage that by physical control with a leash, and then the positive association with the food, praise, and affection, so that he always wants to come see you. Working with the dog, dogs are like us. There's two things that they work for. Well, three things. To avoid pain, to seek pleasure, and then to protect their life. So there's things, obviously, a dog will do. Animals will do. You've heard them chewing off their leg to get out of a trap because the need to save their life is more important than, or to procreate, to live on is greater than their desire for pain or to avoid or to gain pleasure. But typically, it's very simply, training is avoid pain or to seek pleasure. And some dogs do not like pressure. I touched on this a little bit. And the more a dog has gotten away with, the less able they can handle pressure. Just like a child, if a child is very spoiled, they get everything they want all the time. They go to school, they go to wherever they go, and they're telling the teachers and whoever to F off, I'm not going to do that, because they have not learned that they have to respect authority. And so dogs that have gotten away with a lot, and we unintentionally do this. Like this is not, and I'm not pointing any fingers. Like this is very common. We want our dogs to be happy. We want them to feel safe. We want them to have these amazing lives. So we, take away all of the everything that could cause problems, cause damage. We want to keep them safe. We want them to have fun. We want them to love us. But along those lines, somewhere we get to a point where we have this spoiled dog that's never been told no and doesn't listen to anybody. So then when we go to work them and we're like asking things of them, which creates pressure, even withholding a treat to ask the dog to do something creates pressure. And some dogs just do not like the pressure. They do not enjoy it. And I told you the analogy of the high school student. They finish high school, they get their first 40-hour work week, and they're like, damn, that sucks. Like 8 hours a day, I am being told what to do all day. I can't do what I want to do, and it sucks. But then they learn, they get used to it, and then they realize, oh, by listening and doing the things I'm being asked to do, I actually get more freedom. I get to go places. I get to do things. I have money to go to things. Same thing with a dog. If you listen, you walk nicely. If you don't bark, I can take you with me to see my friends. I can take you with me traveling. All of these things that the dog is now capable of doing with me because its behaviors are much better. It's listening. It's respecting. It's paying attention to me. But none of that happens until the dog understands that I'm in charge. You have to listen to me. And so some dogs don't like that pressure. Tesla is definitely one of those dogs. I've worked with hundreds of dogs that were very similar. And unfortunately, the only thing you can do to fix that is it just takes time. So with dogs like that, we take more time with them. We're more gradual with the amount of pressure we're putting on so that it takes longer to get those final results that we want to get, which is why he would have done great with another week, but like that's okay. He does know everything. It's just how he handles the pressure. So at this point, when you ask him to do something, you can get your treat. You can have him sit. Let me pause this and I'm going to grab some treats. All right, because of the holiday, everybody has a day off, so I don't have anyone to film, so this is going to be kind of awkward. Come on, lady. Sit. Good. So I'm rewarding her with treats. Down. Good. So she's just getting treats for doing what I asked her to do. Lady, yes. Lady, come. Yes. Good. So she's just, no corrections here, just working for food. Down. No, lady. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Down. Good. Sit. Come on. Good. Lady, bed. Good. Down. Good. So, oh, no, down. Good. So that is just working for food. And then the other option is we're going to use the leash. So the leash, she's going to get corrections with the leash. Lady, heel. So if she gets out of position, I'm going to give her little tugs with the leash. Sit. Good. So I'm just getting, if she doesn't do what I ask, I give her a little tug up. Lady, down. If she doesn't go down, I give her a little tug with the leash down. Lady, heel. I walk with her, and no, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Anytime she gets out of position, I'm going to give her a little tug with the leash. Good. Heel. And so this just takes time for, nope. So she wants to go to the bed. Nope. Because we do a lot of work with the bed. They get rewarded on the bed. So she wants to go to the bed. Lady, heel. Nope. Down. Good. Stay. So that is the other option. Stay. Lady, bed. Down. The last option is the e-collar. So I sent you, it's the Mini Educator. So it is a TANS unit. So it is the same thing the chiropractor and the physical therapist uses when they put those pads on your back. And at the low levels, it just is a communication. If your dog, if he doesn't listen, then you turn it up and it becomes a correction. Doesn't burn, doesn't cause damage, creates discomfort if he doesn't listen. So for instance, if he runs off and is chasing a squirrel and he wants the squirrel more than the treat, you have to have a way to communicate with him and then correct him if he doesn't listen. So you tell him to come, he doesn't come, nope, you correct him at a low level, that doesn't work, you turn it up until he comes to you. So we want to do both. We want the carrot and the stick. The funny thing is with dogs is that they don't give each other treats. They don't praise each other. They're not affectionate. They don't, pet each other. Those are all things, interactions that we have with dogs. It's not an interaction they have with each other. The only communication they have with each other is I shouldn't say never. There's some dogs that will be affectionate, but as a general rule, they are not affectionate with each other. They correct each other. So they growl, nip, bite. If that doesn't work, the dominant dog or the alpha dog, whatever you want to call them, they get into a fight and the dominant dog puts the other dog on the ground and bites their throat. That's how they communicate with each other. And when we correct a dog, they actually understand that much easier. We have to teach them that, hey, if you do something good, I'm going to give you a treat. We have to teach them what that means. Corrections, we don't have to teach them. They understand because they do that from when they're a puppy to an adult. So with the e-collar, you're going to use the lowest number that you can, the highest number that you have to. So anytime you're walking and he gets out of position, you just use the e-collar. And so if he gets forward, bump, 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 and at the same time give him little taps on the leash so that he understands that the same rules with you, that you expect him to do the same thing with you that he did with us until he's back in a position. When you come to a stop, he should sit. When you tell him down, you say down one time. If he doesn't do it, you say no, and either grab the leash and help him down or correct him with the e-collar. So bump, 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 correct him, sorry, lady, until he is laying down or doing whatever you ask of him to do. The e-collar, anything you don't want him to do, you say no and correct him. If he starts chewing on something, if he starts having an accident or marking in the house, and if you don't trust him to not have an accident, then I would have him in his crate and I would have him on a leash with you at all times in the house. Because dogs are smart and they figure out what they can get away with. He will find a way, if you're not paying attention, to sneak off, go mark, go poop, go pee, whatever bad habits he had before, he's going to go right back to them if you allow him that opportunity. And management takes care of about 80% of all those behavioral issues. So using the crate, the bed, and nope, lay down, and he'll hang out on the bed. So they'll hang out on these beds all day. So I have another dog there. That's actually my dog. She chose the little bed. I don't know why, but we rotate training dogs. So we'll have one dog on the bed, we'll have multiple dogs on the bed, one dog or two or three dogs working, and then we rotate through the dogs so that when they're not actually training with us, they're hanging out on the beds like this. So he can hang out on the bed all day. If he gets up from the bed, once you've told him to stay on the bed, you're going to grab the leash, little pops, bump, 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 and put him back on the bed. So little pops with the leash or corrections with the e-collar and correct him back onto the bed. But even with the e-collar, I would have the leash. So you have that physical control as he is learning to trust you and respect you, and you're learning to trust him. When owners come to work with us, so typically when the dog goes home, they come and work with us for hour and a half before they take the dog home. That is the most stressful part of the entire program because the dog wants to go back to the old habits it had with the owners. It wants to jump around, run around, not listen, pull, all these things. And now we're saying, no, there's a new set of rules. And so the dogs, they're like, oh, this sucks. And typically happens with everyone. Most dogs by the end, they're like, okay, I get it. I have to listen, even though, my owners are here. I have to listen to them just like they listen with us. And I always tell everybody, the first 3 days are going to be the most difficult. The first 2 weeks are going to be the most difficult. If you are consistent follow through every time. After 2 weeks, your dog should be doing amazing. But you need to be consistent, and you need to follow through on everything that you ask them to do. And, like I say, management is about 80% of it. Not giving them the opportunity to jump up on people, to run to the door, to run out of the door, and make sure that when you're calling him, it's always fun. He's getting treats. It's super exciting, and he loves coming to see you. All of these things are going to just create these habits where he wants to be obedient because he's being rewarded for it, and then he's being corrected if he doesn't do those things. And those begin to shape those behaviors so that you absolutely have the dog that you want to have. So that's just a real basic overview. I just wanted you to have that. And then moving forward, we will basically, you guys are coaches, so I will meet with you over Zoom, and we'll go over all the questions you have, and then in a few days or a week or whatever, we can do it again, and just make sure that all of your questions are being answered, and make sure that there's no issues that are coming up that we aren't able to help you with. But that's the basic idea of what we're doing from here. So anyway, thank you. It was fun working with him, and I'm excited to see him do very well for you. So thank you, and I'll get a hold of you.